Welcome to Papa Junk Shop. Yeah, I thought I'd come up in my collection and pick out another engine to redo. Thought maybe you might like to come along. Let's see, what do we got here? Got some Continentals, but I don't know if I want to. It's not very nice outside, so I don't think I want to haul a bunch of them down. That's a loss in there, I think. We'll just find one that I got one of. I think that's a bigger Lawson. That's a little diesel. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that one. Yeah, let's see. There's a Briggs ZZ that I had when I was a kid. That one, well, 20 years ago it ran. Them are all kind of new. Okay, this is a whole bunch of Briggs. I'm going to have to get these all gathered up and bring them down and see what we can make someday. Let's see what do we got here. I think these are all Briggs too. Yeah, there's a Wisconsin mixed in once in a while. Yeah, let's look. Okay. Not sure. That might be a Continental, maybe. One there and one there. They both look fairly complete. That one's got a gear reduction. Lawson back in there. What the heck is that? Huh, look at there. Another Rio. I missed that one. Looks like it's pretty much all there too. Yep. What else I got? Briggs. Tecumseh. Yuck. Here's a Lawson with a gear reduction. Briggs. A couple more Briggs. Another Briggs. There's a Briggs with a lever start. I guess you'd call it lever start. A little different. There's another Briggs Z or ZZ, not sure which. There's another one. That one might be. Looks like it's all there. Okay, what do we got down here? There's another Briggs. Ooh, what's that one? Let's haul that one out of there and take a look. Oh boy, another one of them that if heavy makes it good, it must be good. Oh, this is another Briggs. Oh. It doesn't turn. You know what? Let's see what the tag says on this one. Kind of dark in here. Model Q. Okay, I got the beast down here. Threw it on the old bathroom scales that I have out here, and it's at 96 pounds. I believe it. About all I could do to get it up on this table. I thought I was going to have to use my chain pull. But let's take a look and see if I can figure out what year this is. It's a Model Q, serial number 6003. Let's see what it says about Model Q. Model Q one of the larger engines in the same family as the R&K. Evidently was the first flathead engine built by Briggs Stratton. Q is distinguished by having an air vane governor and the same carburetor as the Model PB. The carburetor is attached to the engine using die-cast elbow that in some engines also contain the carburetor butterfly valve. This engine has 2 flywheels and 2 blower housings. It's a 2.75 bore, 3.25 stroke. They made them from 1925 to 1933. So, let's see. Model Q. Shroud, flying wheels to carburetor type. Says E. Nope. Wait a minute. Don't miss the by one. Boy, this thing is so fine. Carburetor. D. So that's what a carburetor D looks like. So let's look this one up and see what year it is. Model Q, 6003, would be April of 1929. So now we know what it is. Let's take some of her apart and see how bad it is. Be right back. Yeah, before we tear it apart, let's take a look at a few things. So, obviously, I bought it at an auction. Some of you might be wondering where I got all this stuff. Well, for the last 30 years I've been collecting it, stashing it. I sort of copied my dad. He was interested in this stuff too. Some of it was left over from his stuff, all them ones that are in pieces, or ones that I saved for parts. But anyways, I saved it because I was too busy raising my family and surviving. Keep me busy in my retirement. So much for that. Anyways, this looks like where that carburetor mounts, and that looks like a place where it said that some of them had a butterfly in. Well, this one doesn't, but it has the casting spot for it. I'm glad this part is at least here. This side. Okay, this side got some kind of a coupler on it. Not sure what it might have been used on. Must have been something that went inside there. Maybe had some springs or rubber or something on it to couple it. Looks like maybe there was a gas tank mount or something here. And this one bolt is loose. Must be a breather. Okay, we've already seen this side pretty much. Got the rope starter on it. Okay, let's take the bolts out. Before I get the head off, let's see if we can get this spark plug out of there. Doesn't appear to be cooperative. I don't think this will take it out, but what the heck, we'll try her. Nope, didn't think so. Yeah, we'll worry about it later. I'm gonna have to get the air impact out. Hey, looky there. Got an engineer in there. Doesn't look as bad as I expected. Give you a closer look. Let's see, I gotta get this camera so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Looks pretty decent, as a matter of fact. Even the head gasket's good. So the cylinder isn't all rusted and nasty. That's why I thought it probably didn't turn, but maybe we got magneto and stuff rusted onto the flywheel. So far so good. Yeah, I'll shut you guys off for a few minutes. Okay, I got both the shrouds off. Flywheel on this one looks like the same one that was on the PB. Flywheel on the other side looks like it's cast iron. This is actually the nut. And I'm assuming that's what them holes are for. So we'll find out in a minute. Hopefully it's right hand thread. One advantage of having it stuck. Yep, right hand thread. Even that's ridiculously heavy. Okay, so see if we can get that flywheel off. Okay, a little heat, a little hammer work, and a little prying. I got it loose. I haven't had it off yet, so you're going to see what I'm going to see for the first time too. It's still hot. Alright, so it looks like maybe that's what was sticking it. Looks like some of the goo come out of the coil. Hopefully that's not a bad sign. So, put that off to the side. See if it turns now. Well, not quite. We got a big tear on it. Something I can get a hold of this coupler on this side and see. Yep, there she goes. Intake valves open. The exhaust valve is already open and not closing. So that's not unusual. So it does turn. Good. Alright, I guess next, well, I'm curious whether this is any good or not. Let me gather up some stuff and we'll check her out. Okay, I'm using the same method I used on the PB, using the little battery. Got the points open and just touch it on there. Hopefully you can see it. It has spark, which tickles the daylights out of me because the way that coil looked, I wasn't sure. So, we're already making progress. Looks like she might be savable. We can figure out a carburetor. Next, I guess maybe I should check out the oil sump. It might have a pump in it, and make sure it's clean and operational. Okay, pull the drain plug out. It's got a little bit of oil in it, and it's nice and clean looking. That's encouraging. Okay, I got the bolts pulled out of the base. The gasket's not stuck, that's a good thing. Oh boy. Oh man, that sucker's heavy. Nope, she's got an oil pump. Yeah, with that breather there, I don't like that. Let's see if I can get this placed a little better. That's a little better. Oh, I think you guys can even see. Looks like the same rod that was in the PB. Everything feels nice and tight. Oh yeah, I squirted a little WD on that stuck valve. I took a screwdriver in the slot and just started to turn it, and zip, it went down. Turn it over a few times, goes up and down nice. But neither one of them has any clearance. They both will spin in there when it's on top dead center when it's going to fire. So we need to address the valve clearance issues. Everything looks pretty in there. Yeah, looks like we're going to make a new gasket after all. So this is what we got for an oil pump this time. It just has a, careful I don't knock any dirt in there. It just has a trough that it pumps into. Looks like it might be a very similar oil pump. That oil that come out of there looked nice, but glad I took it off. There's a lot of goo in there. And This is the oil pump plunger. And it fell out. So let's see. Okay, these two go. There's a couple holes this goes in, and this rides on the cam. And you can see it's got a considerable amount of wear on it. Not sure if that's going to be a problem, or maybe it was machined that way to fit the cam better. Don't know. So it's time to do some. Gonna pull this coil off here, and then time to do some cleanup, I guess. So I'm sure you guys don't care to watch that. So see ya when I make some progress. Now I knew things were going too good. I went to clean up this oil sump, and I found a little bit of an issue. The oil pump's not there, not all there. I pulled this trough out where the oil pump goes. The only thing that was there was this spring. Nothing else in there. And I'm assuming that it's probably the same oil pump that was in the PB. And when you look at the bottom of this, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can see a wear mark there where that pin that went through the other oil pump that held the check ball was also where the plunger pushed on. So I went up and did a little looking in my collection, but I don't have anything that can even donate a part like that. And I did a little research on the pewter, and there doesn't seem to be anything much available for these. Some ignition parts and head gasket and that kind of stuff, but internal parts seem to be non-existent. So, and I thought maybe it might have jumped out of there when I took it apart, but I don't think so. The way I lifted it off, and then I got thinking, you know, that sump come off awful easy, and the one bolt was loose, so I think somebody must have been in there and done something. Either they didn't put it back in or something, but I don't think it could have ever ran unless they overfilled it with oil without damaging something. So I'm thinking that what I might do is put an oil dipper on it. I got one here. Going to have to do a little remodeling. It needs to be a little bit wider, and of course the length I'm not sure, and I'll have to determine that once I get it. Okay, the old camera beeped at me. Of course that means the battery's getting low, and it's going to last about one more second, so I got a fresh battery. Let's see, where was I? Oh, I was explaining about this oil dipper. Yeah, I'm going to try to fit that in there and have to determine the length and all that good stuff. There was one model of Briggs Stratton that had an oil pump in it that if you tore it apart, they suggested that you replace it, take the oil pump out and replace it with a dipper. So it's not like it's not going to get oil. Thing is that I'm going to have to, these two cast iron bosses that stick up in the oil pan, I'll have to cut them off. That shouldn't be a big deal. You can just take the milling machine and mill them right out of there. So that's where I'm at this point. So this is going to take a while, so I'll probably see you in a day or so. Maybe this isn't going to take as long as I thought. I only spent about 10 minutes getting this fit. and according to what I measured, this will just clear the bottom of the pan. Now I'm not sure. I think there probably should be a little bit of clearance there. I don't think it should go all the way down to the very bottom. So going to take a little closer measurement, and when I get them nubs out of there, get a better determination on how much to take off. Yeah, I got the base in the mill. Gonna mill them off of there. Could take a cut off wheel and cut them off and just grind them out. There's a lot of different ways you could do it, but I got the mill here and it seemed like a easy, safe way to do it, so that's what I'm gonna do her. Yep. Tripod's in the way of cranking the handle here. And we'll use the power feed anyway. I don't know, that cast iron should mill easier than that. That cutter was pretty rough looking. I think I'll see if I can find a little bit better one and get that finished up. I'll show you when I get down near the bottom. Getting right down there close to the bottom. Different cutter worked a lot better. There you can see, that's how big a cut I was taking every time. So, let's get her finished up here. You probably don't have to be exactly on the bottom, but you get really close anyways. Move in a little bit because it is a little wider at the bottom. So let's take a pass up through there. Okay, that's what she looks like. Now, there. Nice and flat. Now we can try the dipper and see if it's going to hit. Okay, I'm back over here at the bench. And I got this all nice and clean so there's no shavings in it. I'm just going to set it in place, no gasket. And it does, it clears. So it's got to be really close to the bottom. So actually that took less than an hour to do that. I figured it was going to ruin the whole day. So I guess some more cleanup and ignition work next after we get this bottom closed up so we don't get dirt and stuff in there. Okay, I got all the magneto parts off the back and plate, got it cleaned up, and all the points and all the stuff's all cleaned up and ready to go. New base gasket, the base is bolted back in place. Next thing I'm going to do is these valves. Now I've got it set, that's where it should fire, top dead center on the power stroke. These valves should be nice and tight, and they're not. There's no clearance at all. So that's what I'm going to address next. Figured I might as well do that before I did the rest of the cleaning of the block and stuff. So I'll get it set up and put you back on the tripod and we'll take a look, see what's in there. Okay, I got her propped up on the bench. Hopefully you'll be able to see what's going on. Let's see what we got in there. So I need something a little more potent. Holy mackerel, I guess I gotta want that to come off. Don't see much of a gasket on there. Now we have adjustments on this one, and so apparently one of the bolts that holds the cylinder on is inside the valve box. So we'll have to get a couple of wrenches and we'll get that set. That's nice, you don't have to take the valves out and grind the ends off. That's always a real pain. So this one's got adjustments. And I was able to find an online owner's manual, and it said in there that the intake is supposed to be 3/1000ths of an inch and the exhaust is 6/1000ths of an inch. And they said that is one sheet of newspaper, one thickness of newspaper for the intake, and two pieces of newspaper for the exhaust. So apparently feeler gauges weren't common back then, so used the newspaper. So I don't think you're going to be able to see what I'm doing because my hands are going to be in the way, so I'll just go ahead and get that done. Okay, the valves are adjusted, gasket's made for the cover, cover's back in place. Everything seems to be happy now with the valves. And I was noticing, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this or not, but you can see the crosshatch in the cylinder. So I'm wondering if somebody wasn't redoing this engine and they lost that part of the oil pump, and maybe they never got the valves set either, and you know, just never got her finished up. That'd be interesting to know, but hopefully we're going to be able to save her if we can come up with a carburetor. I might put some more effort into that other one that I couldn't get the jets out. See if there's some possible way I can clean them while they're in there. I got some stuff you soak a carburetor in. It's in like a 1-gallon can. It's kind of strong stuff, but might be worth dunking it in there for a bit. Next I'm going to get this thing degreased and cleaned up, and anything that needs straightening out, straighten it out, and probably squirt some paint on the block, and then go to work on assembling the ignition. I probably won't show the ignition because it's the same as the PB. If you're interested in seeing how that goes back together and works, you can take a look at that video on the Briggs PB. Same magneto. Now it's been a few days since I've been able to come out my garage. I worked on that carburetor, soaked it in some carburetor cleaner and run some wires in and out of it and blew on it and did all kinds of stuff to it, and I got it so it sort of works, but still can't really adjust it the way it should be. But I did have it running, and I confirmed that the homemade oil slinger is working. I oiled up a bunch of stuff here in the garage because these two gas tank mount holes go all the way through into the crankcase, and it was spitting oil out there. And also there's two mounts here for the shroud that I didn't have in place. And I oiled up stuff on the bench, and I oiled up my Honan a little bit. So let me put you on a tripod and we'll see if it'll fire up again. Yeah, let's give it a little bit here. Want to run her too long with no shrouds on her, but it does run. Hopefully I can get it to not run so rich and smooth out a little bit after I get her together and can work with it a little bit. Maybe it'll be like the other one, and once it runs for a while it'll smooth out. So we'll see in a bit when we get some more done. Okay, Briggs Model Q is finally done. I found a gas tank. It's got a few war wounds on it and a bracket. I'll give you a walk around. If I can find room to walk around. I cheated and went with a flexible gas line on this one instead of the copper. Thought it might be nice to see the gas going through. Besides that, it goes in behind the shroud, and it would have been kind of a kinked up mess. Could be done, but I can always do it later. So we'll set her down on the ground and see if it'll actually run. So it hasn't run since yesterday, and peanut run kind of rich. I'm not going to choke it. I'm just going to give it a try. Ooh, got good compression. Okay, we'll try to choke. Kick the idle up a little bit. Not quick enough. I'm going to do like I did with the PB. I'm going to take it outside when it's nice out and let it run for a little bit and see if I can get it tweaked in. But I think she's going to be okay. Definitely running rich. I think I failed to mention before was that this one has a shut-off on it. There's a little button on the side of the sprout. I don't know if any of you noticed it. I don't think I pointed it out before. So that was the adventure with the Model Q. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. We'll see you next time.